I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Kaylee, and this is
Shoot the Vows. And today we have Kristen DeBadts. She is our wedding expo extraordinaire of New York. Kristen, could you introduce yourself?
Of course. I'm Kristen DeBadts, and I am the expo extraordinaire from Wedding in New York, and we host wedding expos all over New York State in Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, and Utica.
Awesome. So why should wedding couples attend wedding expos in the first place?
Just to meet amazing wedding professionals. They also get to experience what it feels like to start planning. They get that ring, they get engaged, they're excited, they're hyped up, and then they look at what they have to do to plan a wedding. And they go into this mode of like, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff. I don't even know where to start. And that's where we come into play. We give them timelines. We also, at the expos, they get to meet wedding professionals. There's professionals out there that they didn't even know that they want to work with because they just have no idea. A lot of these couples have never planned a wedding before. Mm-hmm. And if they have, it's been so long ago that they need a refresher on everything. Trends change, different things change. There's always new things happening. So this is a great way to just really boost their enthusiasm about the wedding and also get some things checked off that list too.
Yeah.
It can be very overwhelming walking in and seeing that many vendors. How can these people prep for this? How can they?
So really, it is, like you said, you walk in, especially if you're at one of our larger expos in January, those ones are like, boof. No, the spring ones coming up aren't as large. So those are also nice for those that get like very anxious about that too, because they're not as large and they're a little bit more settled down. So it's not as crazy feeling, but go in prepared. Look at all the vendors beforehand and know who you want to talk to. Right on our website, NewYorkWeddingExpos.com, we always list every single wedding professional that's going to be at each of the expos so that they can do their homework too. Mm-hmm. They can research who they want to see what's out there as well. Follow all them on social media, I always say too, because everybody on their social media page, well, most everybody is going to post about what they're offering, where they're going to be located. When they come into the expo, we actually give them a program too that has a map of where everybody is located so they can map out their day. You know, a lot of people are just going to follow the path, but some people are going to jump around and go to where they want to go too. Yeah. I also say, you know, bring your planning team with you. You don't have to bring your fiance or just your fiance. They should come if they're available, but you know, your mother, your mother-in-law, your friends, your bridal party, make a day of it. Make it fun.
Your squad.
Your squad. Yeah, your bride squad. You know, you want those people that are going to really help you with those planning processes and the decision-making too as well. You don't have to make decisions that day. You can if you want, but it's just great that they can experience it with you too.
I think that it's so different just like browsing through somebody's website and actually standing in front of them and talking. And
100%.
Granted, the expo is really busy, so like you're not sitting down for a half-hour cup of coffee, but it's a great way. Yeah,
connection. It's that initial feel of the person of it's
building relationships.
Exactly.
You're building that relationship, and for the couple that's coming in, especially like photography, DJ, people that you're going to be working with that full day, bridal consultants, you want to meet that person. You want to make sure that your personalities mesh well together, that their style is what you're looking for, and of course that it fits in the budget. But budget's another topic too, because that's where wedding expos also help people, because you have this budget in your mind. And then realistically, when you come to these expos, you realize what you want's probably over that budget. But you can prioritize a little bit better and say, I think, you know.
You get to pick and choose.
Yep. DJ is going to be my top priority. Photography, my top priority. You do. And you figure out who you like and where you want to spend your money.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's a lot of vendors that you didn't even know existed that you find, like the mobile bars or the there was a magician at the Rochester one.
You'd be surprised. We have in Rochester too a tattoo artist that comes to our show. He'll come right to your wedding and do live tattoos. The live paintings have gotten really big. It's crazy because like chocolate fountains are back.
Chocolate fountains, but you want somebody managing that because that is a pain to clean.
And it is a disaster if not managed correctly or using the right. Oh, I would love a cheese fountain. Espresso martini fountains are huge right now too. That's another big trend that's happening. And these are where like you see those, the flower walls. There's so many different photo booth options. You can try out a 360 booth, you know, a digital photo booth, a regular old photo booth. You get to actually experience these at the shows too, which is nice.
I notice a lot of couples that come to the shows, like a few of them that I met at the most recent ones, they're like, yeah, we got engaged like last week or 3 weeks ago. So it's a really, like you said, it's a great way to like you're super excited and you're like, what's next? And that's like a fun activity to do because there's not a lot of like places you can go when you're planning your wedding to like get all of that.
Well, and especially like venues, when you're searching for your venue, there's so many venues out there and it's overwhelming. And that's you need your wedding date and your venue to really plan the rest of it. So like, you'll probably notice that the last shows, they're venue heavy, the January ones, because you're getting all the newly holiday engaged couples that are like, all right, we need venues now. You get to see all these venues. Yes, you're not touring the actual venue right there, but you're getting to see a piece of that venue and how they are to work with too. So that helps you judge the rest of the planning process too.
So what should these brides and grooms, what should they bring to the expo? Like, what should they leave at home? What's like important for them to bring?
Well, first of all, wear comfy shoes because a lot of people want to get all dressed up and feel like, which you can, but you're also going to be on your feet for a few hours. Shows are typically 3 to 4 hours long, depending on the size of the show. You don't have to stay there the whole time. You might not be there the whole time. Some people are going to talk to every single vendor and have full conversations, but there are a lot of people, so you move through it. Bring your calendar so that way you know what dates you have available to book consultations with these wedding professionals there. Some wedding professionals are going to offer different packages and specials. If you book consultations at the show, if you book at the show, bring cash, bring your credit card. There's drinks for purchase. There's usually a snack bar for purchase. You're going to be sampling stuff too as well. Bring a bottle of water because you're going to get thirsty with talking. We also say mints, gum, things like that. And we send this all out. Once you register, we'll send you like a little guide to like, these are the tips and tricks so that you want to do too. Definitely wear comfy shoes. That's the number one. And then you want to dress comfortable too. It does get warm in these facilities because there's a lot of people in there too. So you want to just take that into account too as well. And come prepared. Do your homework. Have an idea of who you want to talk to, what you're looking for to.
I think one of my favorite things that I've seen at the expo, it's really type A, and I'm the furthest thing from this, so I probably would never do it. But these brides had these like stickers and it had their information on it. And so they gave
a label.
us, the labels.
That's in our to-do thing before.
Well, and not everybody did it. And the one girl came up and she's like, here's my information, and just handed me the sticker. And I was like, oh, that's so nice.
It saves you so much time now because what you can do is you just take that label, put your name on it, your wedding date, email, and phone number. Those are going to be the 4 things that everybody wants. If you don't know your wedding date, you just put wedding date to be determined. Or if you have an idea, spring 2026, spring 2027.
We literally were able to just put those stickers right in the calendar, right where their appointment was for the
and it makes
date.
it so much easier. And when a lot of people are doing like raffles and things like that at their booths that you can put those right onto too. And then you're not sitting there filling everything out too. And that's why we also say, like, have your phone with you so you can put calendar. If you're making appointments, you can put that right into your calendar as well.
You said that they're usually like 3 to 4 hours. How do you suggest people make the most of their time at wedding expos?
Well, I typically say come in the beginning. We don't do any of the giveaways and stuff towards the end. So you are there longer, but you can leave and go get, coffee or grab lunch or something and come back as well too. But you may want to spend 3 hours talking to vendors, but you don't know until you get there. You don't want to feel rushed either. So you could get there, walk around for an hour, then go take a break for a little while and come back for another hour refreshed too, because it is a long day of talking and it does get overwhelming too. Like you said, you're walking into a room of so much that you have had no idea about.
Yeah. Well, from the other side, as a vendor, it's overwhelming because there's like, there's times where I have a line of people like waiting to talk to me, which is flattering, but it's
like, oh my goodness, how can I stop talking to this person that I need to talk to and talk to them? And it's like,
I feel bad.
And that's what I always say. The ones that are still at the end are the serious couples that want to talk. Those are the ones that have left and come back or have been to shows before and just came to talk to who they wanted to talk to. And that's, if you are just coming to talk to a few people, come at the end. The last hour of the expo is like downtime. It's very quiet. You're going to have more time to actually talk to the vendors too. Now, if you're there to try the samples and stuff like that, a lot of them do run out by then. But if you're coming just to talk to some people that that you want to meet already, you can come the last hour and be very successful still too.
But if you're looking for a caterer, go in the beginning.
Yeah, come in the beginning.
Yeah. And following up with people after the expo, like how do you recommend that couples do that?
It's huge. Follow-up is huge. You're going to forget in a week who you talked to and who was what and whose cake you sampled. Immediately follow up. Bring that notebook too, or take pictures. Make a photo diary while you're there so that way you can remember everything. We give you the program. Circle who you really liked and I would do it right after. Go home and follow up with those. Send an email to the vendors that maybe you didn't get a chance to fully talk to there, or you didn't book the consultation because you didn't want to wait in line and to talk to you, but you knew that you wanted to do that. Follow up right after. We also, all the wedding professionals there, we also tell them to follow up with the couples right after too, because they're ready to book at that point too.
Yeah. And personally, as a vendor that attends these shows, we do a show special where, we recommend scheduling a consultation at the expo, and they'll get, whatever. A lot of vendors will do that. So you'll get a discount, or you'll get an album with your gallery, or you'll get like a free add-on. So sometimes if you know that there's a vendor that you really want to work with, talk to them at the expo, because you may not get that afterwards.
Well, and the wedding date too. We have so many wedding dates here in New York State. Yeah. Fortunately, there's a lot. There are winter weddings, but they're not as, prevalent. If you want an October wedding, you need to book 2 years in advance. And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. They come to these expos and they have, I'm going to get married October this year.
Oh, well.
It depends if you want certain vendors, if you want that venue,
Did you find
if you
the
want
venue?
that photographer, like that is the biggest thing. And that's what they don't know. If you have a popular wedding date, October, July, you need to book your wedding professionals so far in advance. You need to book those consultations right away too. And some people don't feel comfortable booking on the spot right at expos because they want to meet everybody first. But you can then email them right after. If you email them that day, if somebody emailed you right after the show and say, I didn't book that consultation today, can I still get that deal if I do it right now?
Yeah.
A lot of them are, it's up to them. They could, but they could not too. But this is your opportunity. You can also book the consultation, unsure if you want to book their service. It's just a consultation to see if it
You're
works
the right
well.
fit.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I also recommend people meet with several different wedding professionals in each category, because that's going to help you narrow down your search too.
Yeah. And you guys also have a website, right?
We do.
Syracuse Weddings.
SyracuseWedding.com. So what we do is we have Syracuse Wedding Magazine, and coincides with SyracuseWedding.com too. And with that, every couple that comes to the expo actually gets a copy of the magazine there too as well. We have a database that we mail them out to. And SyracuseWedding.com lists every wedding professional that advertised with us. So you can go in there and you're looking for venues. You click on the venue page. It's going to list all the venues. You can start browsing through their pictures, check out their social media. It's just a great way to help plan your wedding. We have photo galleries on there. Searching real weddings. People love to see what other people have done too. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of real weddings, and our social media is great too to follow, because if you follow our social media, we always run contests on there. We update things on different expos, and we share all of our wedding professionals information on there too, so you can see the latest trends.
I love that.
Me too. Would you have any other tips, tricks, and advice for the couples?
Relax and enjoy this experience. It gets stressful, and you and your partner get lost in the planning sometimes, that you forget why you were doing this in the first place. If it gets stressful, take a breather, take a break, and take a week off from planning. Go do something fun. Go on, a first date again. Mm-hmm. Do something that's going to keep your mind off the wedding, because wedding planning is stressful, and it should not hurt your relationship. It should make it stronger too. So don't feel like you have to get everything done the first week. Get your venue, get your photographer, get your DJ, take a break. Get your, start
caterer,
working down
dress,
that list, the caterer,
suit.
the dress. Do it in little steps. Try not to do everything all at once too.
Yeah. I had a couple actually recently. I was on a call with them, and they were like, yeah, we're booking everything this week. They had gotten engaged 2 months ago. And their wedding's in September, and they have pretty much everything planned. Like within
what you
the past
need to
2
when
months.
it's that short.
Yeah.
But there's some things that you can pause and wait a week, like your invitations. They don't need to be done the day that you get your venue. DJs, photographers, and venues are the 3 biggest things that book up the fastest, is what we have seen. So once you get those done, take a break for a week or 2 and then come back at it.
Don't lose your mind.
Don't lose your mind. We see it so much that people get stressed out. And also, this is yours and your partner's wedding. Yes, your parents and your friends have opinions and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you do what you want to.
For sure.
That's amazing. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on,
Oh,
Kristen.
you're welcome. It was great to be here.
Yes. And as always, guys, if you have any comments, questions, or topic requests, drop them down below.
We'd love to feature it in the next video.
Subscribe.
Bye.